Now, if you'll bow your head and join the word of prayer, we'll have a prayer for breakfast. Our merciful, loving God, creator of all things past and present, we give you thanks for this day and for your many blessings. We thank you, O God, for bringing us together on this special occasion, an occasion where we can be together, share a meal, and fellowship with one another. We ask that you bless each of us, help us continue our involvement and commitment to our community, one another, and to you. We ask you continue to bless the senior services of Florissant, help us continue to provide services that are beneficial to its senior citizens and to the agency. We pray that you will be with the leaders in the City of Florissant that provide support for these activities. Now, merciful God, we ask you that you bless the food that we're about to receive and those who prepared it. Help to give us the health, strength, and energy to do your will and to glorify you. We pray these prayers and all prayers in your precious Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Before I talk about the company that provided all of this, I want to thank the different organizations that are here today around the outside of the gym. We have AARP. Actually, why don't all you representatives stand up so that we can all acknowledge you and see you here and thank you for being here. We have AARP, Center for Hearing and Speech, Center for Senior Renewal, Christian Hospital, the County Older Resident Program, the Florissant Valley Fire Protection District, the Florissant Valley Kiwanis Club, the Greater North County Chamber of Commerce, Mid-East Area Agency on Aging, the Missouri Veterans Commission, OASIS, St. Louis County Library, Washington University Memory and Aging Program, Ameren, Laclede Gas, Missouri American Water, MSD, St. Louis County Highways and Traffic, MoDOT, and I think Meridian was here. I don't know if they're still here. But I want to thank again all these organizations that are here to give you some information about our different community services that we have that are available to senior citizens. Now, this breakfast that you just enjoyed was provided, actually the people who catered the breakfast is Papaya's Catering. There's Lisa over there. Lisa, wave. They're a wonderful catering company. They actually cater our dining center, Meals on Wheels programs, as well as big events for weddings and whatever you have. They're a great caterer. Keep them in mind if you need something. They have cards over there. Pick that up. But the company that actually brought this to you and paid that caterer is a company that is a well-established company here in Florissant, I must say. We have a lot of wonderful companies that have been here for years and years. And one of them is Bentwood. And that's why we have the big sign over there, Bentwood Nursing and Rehabilitation Center actually provided this breakfast for you. If you need some kind of rehab or nursing home, it's a wonderful place. Like she said, they have an outstanding crew of help there. I think we're ready to start our town hall meeting now. So, one thing I did want to announce, each of our department heads with the City of Florissant are here today. We're over here. Okay, we are going to be here, of course, during this event. We're going to speak a little bit, but all of us are going to be waiting over there to answer any comments, questions, or concerns that you have. So please, if you have a question, please stay. That's what we're here for. That's what this event is for. So listen to them, but if you have a question, please stay and ask them, all right? So without any further ado, I will introduce our mayor, our leader, Mayor Thomas Schneider.
Well, welcome everyone. I'd like to ask the following individuals to please stand. Ruth Anzer, Bill Boschert, Margaret Buchholz, Jan Damming, Corrine Denischuk, Chuck Gears, Rose Gary, Sue Jaycott, John Jaworski, Florence Klinger, Don LaFleur, Larry Link, Helen Melanie, Margaret Mersicki, Chris Perel, Val Rome, Diane Shane, and Carol Wagner. This is one of the most important groups in the city. This is our Senior Advisory Commission, and they do a great job helping us with this event and all the other senior events and all the senior activities in the City of Florissant. Let's give them a big round of applause. I'd like to thank the Florissant City Council. We have Florissant Council Member Tim Jones here. Are there any other council members here? They're always welcome to attend these events. Let's give the City Council a hand. You know, when I first got in office, they said that, you know, you're a CB, so that you know what, you got that can-do attitude. So there's two things that we need you to do. We need you to redevelop the Value City property, and that's a difficult challenge. And then the impossible challenge is we need you to get us to Culver's. So the CB's motto is the difficult we do at once, the impossible takes a little bit longer. Anyway, very happy that we were able to break ground on the Culver's a couple weeks ago. Also, before we get off, I'd like to introduce Chief Sept from the Florissant Valley Fire Protection District to say a few words about the district. Chief Gantner from Blackjack is not here this morning, but they are also an excellent fire district. So I'd like for Chief Sept to tell you a little bit about the Florissant Valley Fire District. So you got about 2 to 3 minutes.
That sounds good. That's perfect. I can keep it short. Thank you, Mayor. Just a little bit about our district. We protect 21 square miles. We protect a large portion of the City of Florissant. We protect a large portion of unincorporated St. Louis County, part of the City of Hazelwood, and all of Calverton Park. We have 3 engine houses. We are a 60 firefighter department. All of our firefighters that we hire now are trained and certified paramedic and firefighters. All of our equipment is our ALS. We continue to be the busiest district in North St. Louis County. We average about 27 emergency calls a day. We're a very busy department. We continue to partner up with our brothers from the Florissant Police Department. And right now we started up a Citizens Fire Academy where we had 20 of our residents sign up that are going through the academy, and they're learning each week from the police department to the fire department. Last night they learned auto extrication and were able to tear a car apart at the firehouse last night. I just want to piggyback on what the mayor said. We have partnered up and we continue to partner up with North County Tech. the fire department in North County Tech, and in the past 7 years, we've hired 6 of their students as we continue to work with them in their fire protection program. One thing I would like to invite all of you to is we had a safety day earlier this year, and we put on a demonstration about how fast a fire burns in a house in today's materials and what we have. We don't have the wools and cottons that we had 25 and 30 years ago. We have the neoprenes and the different things like that in our house and how fast it burns. And we did a demonstration at our safety day, and we're going to do that same demonstration at the Fall Festival. And we'll have a room there, and we'll just light a little trash can on fire, and we'll see how long it takes for a smoke detector to go off, and then how long before the room actually flashes over. And I think it's an eye-opener to our residents. You know, how quick and how fast things burn, and how vital it is that you have operating smoke detectors in your house. And just to let you know, the Florissant Fire District, we supply smoke detectors and batteries free of charge. We install them for all of our residents. And I have a list over here. We'd be more than willing to come out and install smoke detectors or check your batteries. Yes, we do have to bring the fire truck to do that. Okay, so I don't want to, but the fire truck or the ambulance has to come to do that. But it's worth it that you do have a smoke detector. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Chief. You know, one thing that we're really proud of in our community is that we are a faith-based, patriotic community, and I'd like to, I know he's already left because Rance Thomas is going to someplace out of state today, so he's traveling and had to leave, but I'd like to thank Dr. Rance Thomas for giving the invocation, and I'd also like to just say something about Rance and all the other clergy in the area. Rance is very involved in a number of organizations. One of them that he's very involved in is North County Churches United for Racial Harmony and Justice. And we have had some private meetings with the clergy, the police chiefs, and elected officials to get some of these skeletons out on the table and talk about how we can go forward in harmony and so that everybody has an opportunity to pursue happiness. And I just want to thank Rance for that. All the clergy in our community are just wonderful. We've had great priests and great ministers always in our community, going all the way back 200 years ago when St. Philippine had a friendship with the famous Jesuit priest, Father de Sept. And she said that Florissant had the quality of hospitality. And Florissant has been welcoming people. The French welcomed the Spanish government that was imposed upon them, and they welcomed the German immigrant and the Irish immigrant. And our demographics has been changing for over 200 years, but we've been doing it in a harmonious way, and everybody is included in the progress. And it's always going to be that way in the Florissant Valley. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, we had a great ceremony, 9/11. It was very well attended at the VFW last week. It was very gratifying to see that many people that wanted to reflect on the threat to our nation and our resolve to defend ourselves. And it's been said that, you know, Americans can be very benevolent, but when we're crossed, we can be a very tenacious foe. General Grant said that, and I think it's still true, that we will defend our turf and that we will prevail and that our experiment in democracy will continue for ages to come. Somebody that did go in harm's way that also is at our City Hall every other week, or maybe once a month or so, is former retired Navy Chief, retired Chief Stewart is here. I'd like for Chief to come up for just a second. Come on up here, Chief. Chief is at City Hall to service our veterans, to make sure that their claims get processed properly. You know, as you know, the federal government is a bureaucracy, and the paperwork can be pretty cumbersome. So you need somebody to advocate for you to get your applications in properly, so that they have a chance to get approved. And the veterans in the Florissant Valley have been very well served by the Chief and his predecessors, who come to our City Hall, use our conference room for an office. Is it twice a month or once a month? Okay, so Chief, come on up and address the folks, and just let them know what services you do for them every month.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Stewart. I normally work out of the Missouri Veterans Home all the Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We help veterans with compensation claims for injuries they might have received while on active duty. We do pensions, non-service connected type pensions, and we do widows' pensions to help the survivors. So all we need when people come in is to bring their discharge papers, and be glad to sit down and talk with anyone. Thank you.
So we're going to keep the parade of chiefs going. At this point in time, I'm going to introduce Chief Lowry up to the podium, and if you want to bring any command staff, bring your command staff with you. Now, the chief is the handsomest member of the command staff. That's why we made him chief.
I definitely agree with that.
Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. You guys getting tired? Everybody need to stand up, go right ahead. I'd just like to thank Mayor Snyder for inviting me and my command staff here today to the senior town hall meeting. I'd also like to thank the mayor and the city council for their continued support of the police department. Believe me, without their support, it'd be very difficult to run this police department. I do promise this. I'm going to keep my my message very short, very brief. We've got a lot of people to talk after me, so I don't want you guys to get too tired. But I will tell you this: we're right over here. We're going to remain after the meeting, and please come over and talk to us. If you've got any questions, any concerns, anything that we can talk about, you got problems in the neighborhood, please bring them to our attention. We'll deal with them right away. These gentlemen up here, this is Andy Harmon. I think most of you guys know him. He's my public information officer. Next to him is Captain Tim Fagan. Tim is in charge of all the uniform patrol. All the guys are in uniform. They patrol your streets 24/7. Tim's in charge of all those officers. Captain Sean Fagan. Sean is in charge of investigations. He's got 12 of what I think is probably some of the best detectives in the St. Louis area work for Sean. Sean's been here a long time. Most of his career, like mine, was spent in the investigations division, and Sean does an excellent job. And somewhere in the back, he's just dealing with an issue, is Captain Randy Bowden. Randy's in charge of our support services. Thank you. I'm very proud to say that this year, our crime so far this year is down 11%. And I'm very happy to say that. And I give you guys a lot of credit for that. I mean, you guys call us when you see suspicious activity in your neighborhoods, and I promise you this, is that no one knows your neighborhood better than yourselves. And you guys do a great job calling us, letting us know when there's a problem, and I really would love for you guys to continue that. I promise you this, you never bother us. If you think there's something wrong in the neighborhood, please call us. I mean, we really need your support and your help. Without that, I can tell you this, we wouldn't be effective. So thank you very much for that. Neighborhood Watch. I always encourage everybody to join a Neighborhood Watch group. Neighborhood Watch is really a program. Randy Harmon will get you started, or if you want to do a new group, or if you want to join an existing group, please contact Andy Harmon. That's a program, the neighbors watching out for the neighbors. That's what it's about. We come, we'll give you training, we'll give you information, we'll do whatever we have to do to keep your group going, but it's so vital to the safety of the city. And I will tell you this, I have a lot of other things on this list that I wanted to talk about, but I've been cornered so much by a lot of you people today that you guys have a lot of concern about what's going on in Ferguson and what our response is. So I think I'm going to eliminate that, and because I don't want to talk too long. But I'll tell you this, that since August the 9th, law enforcement has definitely changed in the St. Louis area, and it's going to continue to change. Since August the 9th, every night I've assigned 6 to 10 officers to assist with the rioting, the protests that have occurred in Ferguson. However, I want you guys to understand something is that my number one priority still is the residents of the City of Florissant. In addition, I've added extra patrol to the streets of Florissant when this all occurred and during the highlights of these events, and that I have had double the amount of staff, especially in the evening hours, patrolling your neighborhoods, patrolling our subdivisions, patrolling our shopping centers. I've got my officers working we're working 12-hour days, riding two-man cars for their protection and for your protection. And I can tell you this, it's very amazing to me that during that time, our calls for service were way down, and our crime was down. I like to believe that what we did worked, and so we're going to, as everybody I'm sure is concerned, is that these events are not over. At some point, Prosecutor McCullough and the Justice Department is going to make a decision whether or not to charge that officer in Ferguson with the shooting. I cannot tell you that I have no idea what's going to happen. I will tell you this, though: the Florissant Police Department and the police in St. Louis are prepared for the next events that are going to occur. We are preparing for the worst. We are preparing that this will be worse than the first event, to be really honest with you. I don't want to paint a picture that everything's going to be great. We think it's going to be worse. It's going to be multiple locations. We think Ferguson will be one, but we certainly think that Clayton will be another. There's a lot of concerns at of course, the sporting events, the Rams football games, the World Series possibly coming to St. Louis. So there are going to be a lot of concerns that we're going to have to deal with here in the St. Louis area. Somebody asked me about the highway shutdown. We do not have intelligence information that tells us there's going to be another one, but we certainly will be prepared if there is, and we'll probably deal with it very similar to how we dealt with the first one. I know that law enforcement's been criticized a lot as to the way we handled the situation, the way it was handled. I can tell you this, is that I was down there several nights myself on West Florissant, and I don't know that they could have been handled any differently. You'd have to be there to understand that there's constantly gunshots, there's constantly things being thrown, bricks. I don't know how it could have been handled any differently than it was to protect the citizens and really the officers down there. And I know that, like I said, I know we've been criticized a lot, but I'm full support of Chief Belmar, that I think he did an excellent job. Ron Johnson did an excellent job, and I really am supportive of them and their efforts. But I promise you this, regardless of what happens outside the Florissant area, I promise you this, is that our main concern is the City of Florissant. I promise you that you guys will be given the utmost protection, and anything that will occur in the City of Florissant we will definitely deal with. And if it's required that I have to pull my officers out of Ferguson to make sure that our city is protected, I certainly will do that. But if anybody has any questions, thank you very much. Anybody has any questions about what's going on, please come over and see us. Thank you very much.
As you can see, we have an outstanding command staff. It's been my good fortune to be able to promote all these individuals directly or indirectly. The chief and I have always worked very well together. We've known each other for a long time. Works closely with his father, as you know, for over 30 years. Bob Lowry left a legacy of serve and protect that is an example, such a great example that we named the police building after him last May. Bob Lowry gave us big shoes to fill. Matter of fact, in the mayor's office, I haven't changed any furniture. I have Mayor Egan's desk. I have Mayor Lowry's furniture. The only thing that's mine is the stuff that's on the wall. All the furniture is from my predecessors, and that's to remind me what big shoes that I have to fill. And anyway, Tim Lowry, our chief, all his command staff, the lieutenants and the sergeants, they are working as harmoniously probably as they ever have. I think it's a tribute to Chief Lowry's leadership and the leadership of his command staff. And not last but not least, our information officer, Andy Harmon, is doing a wonderful, wonderful job too. Thanks, guys. Now we're going to get into some a little bit more routine business. We have with us today our department heads, and probably in no particular order. I'll just kind of call on them so I can surprise them just a little bit. But here today for Sonia is Kim Pemberton from our Human Resource Department. She'll just tell you a little bit about our equal and fair hiring practices, and how if you have a grandson or a child that is looking for employment, how they go about applying for work with the City of Florissant.
Good morning, everyone. I work under Sonia Brooks White in the Human Resources Department. And our department, basically, we are the department that manages employee records, benefits, work injuries, and we do the hiring processes for all of the departments in the City of Florissant. So if you know of anyone who is interested in employment with the City of Florissant, you would want to refer them to our department. We do a lot of our posting on our website, so that's some place you refer them to our website, theflorissantmo.com. Also, applications are available in our office at any time, so anybody can contact us and we can inform them of what opportunities we have available. So that's what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. I'd like to invite our city clerk to come up, Karen Goodwin. She's one of the leaders of the City Clerks Associations. She's very familiar with what it takes to make sure that our information is processed correctly, that our code books are up to date. She also does something that's kind of dear to my heart. She kind of also, one of the things that she does that not every city clerk takes that much interest in is that to preserve our archives, because our city is the oldest city in St. Louis County, one of the oldest cities west of the Mississippi River. We go back to 1786, as you can see on our logo, so we have some very, very old records that are delicate, and I really appreciate the work that Karen does to preserve those records, and I appreciate the work that she does to make sure that our current records are accurate and legal. Thank you, Karen.
Good morning. Well, kind of what the mayor said. It's kind of what I was going to say. I was born and raised in North County, so I'm very comfortable here. I love Florissant. I work with the mayor and council, as you know, to put together the agendas and write the legislation, but not only write the legislation, and once they pass it, we keep track of it. We have, like the mayor said, over 100 years of records that we hang on to. Some of them are very delicate. We've had a chance to recently restore several of our oldest books. And that's pretty exciting. Every time they come back, we get excited about that. Anybody ever wants to see them, they're in archives and climate-controlled area so that we can take care of them forever. And they're available, so anybody could see them. You have to wear gloves, though. And we also work with, we maintain the records, we do the research. If anybody ever needs to know what a law is or what happened when, we can go do that research. We're getting better at that. A lot of it's getting scanned in to where we can access it electronically. Hopefully, eventually, the public will be able to access that as well. We also work with, the one big thing that we do too is keep track of the boards and commissions. As some of you have noticed, I have the applications and descriptions of the boards and commissions over on my table. Government doesn't work without volunteers, and the council can't do what they do without volunteers to give them recommendations and to do some of the footwork that they don't have time to do. So if you know anyone, or if you feel like you want to volunteer for a board or commission, those of you who aren't on 3 or 4 of them, I have those applications over there, but that's how government works. We work with our volunteers, so we appreciate all of your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I'd like to ask Anna Davis from our court to come up. Judge Boyle wasn't able to make it this morning. Judge Boyle has been our judge for a little over 3 years. He's really grown into the job. We're very pleased with the job that he's doing with our court. We have challenges now that we never had before. Come on up, Anna. We had a mandate to have a larger court room to accommodate everyone that has families that are, having to appear before our court. So we had to move our court to John F. Kennedy Community Center temporarily because we kind of outgrew City Hall. We certainly outgrew the Government Center. But what we did do at the Government Center, if any of you are familiar with it over there, we put a wall up where the small courtroom used to be, and then we've expanded the court offices behind there because they were so cramped and we were running out of space to store our records. And we did that very recently to help them to be efficient in that space, at least for the time being, while they're operating out of John F. Kennedy Community Center. Those of you that live over by John F. Kennedy Community Center, either you or those of you who know, who lament the fact that the community center is not available, on the nights that we have court, we apologize. We can't bring it over here to James J. Egan Center because that would be even more disruptive to our recreational community. We have more facilities here that would be interrupted. We have an indoor swimming pool that goes almost year-round, and in the wintertime we have an ice rink, of course, and then we have the theater, so an award-winning theater. And then all the other activities that are in this building. We have more meeting rooms, we have a larger gymnasium, and so if we had court here at James J. Egan Center, it would be even more disruptive than at JFK. The state of Missouri has given us a tool to remedy that. They've given us the authority to put an extra $10 on court fines to help us to fund a separate standing court facility that would be big enough. And we're in the process of looking for such a property. We've got a couple of them in mind that we cannot discuss, but we are in negotiations with a couple different property owners for potential court sites. Anyway, the court is challenged more than ever to be firm but fair. Again, we want to have a court that's going to promote justice and do it in such a way as to not interfere with anybody's pursuit of happiness. I know those are a little bit lofty things to talk about. I'm not going to ask Anna to expound on that, but I'm going to let her make a few comments about the nuts and bolts of our city court system.
Good morning. My name is Anna Davis, and I'm the court clerk for the Florissant Municipal Court. We process traffic tickets that we get from the Florissant Police Department, as well as ordinance violations that come from Public Works and the Health Department. Together with my dedicated staff and our judges, Judge Boyle and Judge Lanier, we handle 7 court sessions a month. We handle a lot of paperwork, but we manage to get it done in an efficient manner. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to me today.
Anna has been here quite a long time, has only worked for 2 judges, Judge Kelly and Judge Boyle. At this time, I'd like to ask the person that's in charge of the guy that's got the camera, Carrie Luster, to come up, talk a little bit about our cable TV program. Like I said, I'm kind of mixed it up, so you never know who's going to be next, so you have to always be ready. Chris Pulliam is back there on the camera. He's been with us quite a long time. We appreciate his work. Carrie has been with us also for a while and does a great job of making sure that we're documenting the events such as this one, Valley of Flowers, Fall Festival, grand openings, you name it, kids' activities. We have activities for all different age groups, and Carrie's here to document those. Not only the fun events, but also the city council meetings and some of the other official events that we have to carry out the business of the city.
Scratching off everything. Thanks, Mayor. Okay, I'm going to try and keep it short, just like everyone else. I've been here for 10 years, and in the 10 years, there's only been 3 municipalities that has a television station. St. Louis County is not one of them. You have the biggest, best television station for a municipality in the area. Now, my job is to make sure that we stay abreast of all of the technology that comes about, and as you all know, technology is rampant. We just have to keep up, and it's just Chris and I actually to do all of this. But we do a pretty good job. We just upgraded to full HD, even though Charter doesn't broadcast in HD, and even though UVerse doesn't broadcast in HD, we still are sending it out in HD, which is beautiful because we now can be found on the internet, which does have HD. So if you go to the internet, you can get all of this information in full color. Maybe some of you don't want to see us in HD, and I can understand that. But that's what we do for the most part. Not just document stuff. We also do many shows that send information out to you guys. I'll use Andy Harmon as an example since Andy's being picked on. Andy does a great job. Did you leave? There he is over there. He just finished another show, FPD Roll Call, and all of the programs that the police department have coming up, he is always there to let you know what's going on. So you just tune in, watch a show. You don't have to look for it. It'll tell you when it's on and you can watch it, or you can watch it on demand and watch it at your leisure. It's up to you, just as well as all the other shows. Most of you know about Peggy's show. It's a Wonderful Life. It's a show about what's available for seniors. And you can watch her show on demand anytime you want to, and figure out what's going on. There's just tons of shows that we have. The mayor did speak about a couple of them, but yeah, the mayor's got his own show called Our Town, where he interviews people who are instrumental in certain things that go on in the community. Vets Speak, occasionally we'll have someone come in and talk about what's going on with veterans in our community. Let's see, and the, not City Corner. On Cue, the theater. Gary Gatis isn't here, Trish will be up to talk about the theater, but the theater has wonderful programs that come to you from all over the world. Where else are you going to find that? Just for a municipality. Yeah, there are individual places, but here in Florissant, you have your own. So we do a pretty good job, we think, of trying to take care of you guys and send information out to you as much as possible. You don't have to look too hard. You don't have to work too hard. Just flip on the channel. Kim will be up to talk about the IT department, and I work hand in glove with her. And some of the things that she's going to talk about, I also do. So. There's so much more I could talk about, but again, we've only got a few minutes. If you have more questions, please come on over. I'll be willing to talk to you about anything and everything. If you have any suggestions about information or programs that you might want to see, let me know and we'll talk about that and make that happen for you as well. Thank you very much.
Hey, Carrie. Hey, what channels are they, Carrie?
Charter Channel 992. Uverse Channel 99. You can get us streaming on the internet by going to our website, www.florissantmo.com, and look for FCTV and click on that. That'll take you to our program page. You can go on demand or watch us streaming from there. Or you can go to YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. So if you don't know about YouTube, ask your grandkids. They can show you how to get there. Thank you.
Now, you know, when you have, you ever hear the term out of sight, out of mind? I'm looking over here for all my potential speakers. I'm kind of lining them up. And over here is Chuck Barkham, who I meant to introduce earlier. Chuck is the owner of Meridian Waste, and they provide our trash pickup service. I wanted to let Chuck get a few minutes. I really appreciate some of the things that Chuck does for the city. He does a lot of extra things. Gives us containers for our festivals, for all the different things, you name it. He will always, he never says no if we ask him if he can take care of a certain event, Fall Festival, Valley Flowers, whatever it might be. And then also a lot of extra things like the document shredding and the electronic pickup and the other special pickups that we have, hazardous waste and stuff like that. We have a very green community. We have an environmental quality commission. We're trying to be environmentally good stewards of our environment to try to pass a clean planet off to our grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so forth. One of those is recycling, and Chuck would like to encourage you, if you're not already using a blue tote, to use a blue tote. It's also economically friendly to us because it allows us to keep our costs down. Chuck Barkley.
How you doing? I am Chuck Barkham. I'm the owner of Meridian Waste. I just want to talk a little bit, like the mayor said, about recycling. Florissant does a pretty good job. We're a little over 200 tons a month, but we can do much better. And I really believe with the help of the senior citizens getting more active into it, we can increase the tonnage and be one of the leaders in the community. Just by doing that, you know, anybody that doesn't have a blue tote, the city already has them. It was a grant that was given out. They're already sitting at the health center, so all we got to do is make a phone call and they'll deliver it to your house. We're limited on space in St. Louis County. There's one landfill left, and when it's done, it's done. Prices will go up because we'll have to take stuff over to other states. So if we can get everybody recycling, that landfill will go on a lot longer than it's currently due to close in. We'll extend the life on that, and it'll be a good thing to pass down to our kids. So if we could get everybody to start doing a better job at recycling, and we do a good job, we just need to get more involved in it. I'll have some lectures that are out on the website to tell everybody what's recyclable and what's not. But basically about 75% of everything we throw away is recyclable. Any of your paper, your plastics, soda cartons, milk cartons, any of that kind of stuff, all goes in a can, all goes together. It doesn't have to be separated. Truck come by, pick it up, and we'll extend the landfill. Thank you.
The other extra thing that he does for us every year, and I hope you appreciate them because we put plenty of pictures of you guys on it, is the annual calendar. So let's give Chuck a round of applause for sponsoring our calendar. Thank you, Chuck. We were talking about information through the cable TV and Carrie Lester's job. Another place that you can get information, of course, is on your computer, and our cable television is available on the website for the city. And the person that's responsible for our website, but also responsible for making sure all of our computers are operating all the time, it's a very important job, is Kim Emerson. Kim Emerson has been with us for quite a while, and whenever somebody's computer goes under Fritz or whatever, she's right there to help you out. Also, she makes sure that we have the right kind of filters to keep the bugs out of our computer system. And she also has an assistant, and there's another person in our police department that's kind of like takes care of all of our Star Wars stuff. But Chris is in charge of the website. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about. We've upgraded that recently. It's been well received, and we're very excited about it. And thanks for doing that.
Thank you. I'm Kim Emerson. I was going to invite you also, in addition to the website, to check out our Facebook page and like that if you're on Facebook. A lot of good information out there. Come to our website. You can register for classes online. You can view the television station, submit comments, questions, and if you have any suggestions or comments, please email me, call me. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. We have with us, we have to have money to balance the budget. We have to be good stewards of the resources that we have. We have somebody in our audience who's using a World War II surplus chair. He's a real penny pincher, but we're lucky that he's built that way. He makes sure that we try to balance our budget and to make sure that we follow accounting procedures that will pass muster in an audit. Randy McDaniel's been with us for a long time, well over 20 years. He served 3 different administrations, and like I said, he's a little bit of a tightwad. Make sure that we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's when we purchase something. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt when you just want to try to buy something that you don't think costs that much. You make sure that you jump through all the right hoops. Randy McDaniel, Finance Director.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here today. The mayor mentioned earlier that he's using his predecessor's desk. I'm actually using Mayor Egan's original desk. I'm very proud of that. Still has the graffiti on it where never mind. Anyway, the finance department, we have 7 employees. We monitor all the financial transactions of the city. We have about a $35 million budget. We also have oversight on purchasing. If you can't sleep at night, we have a lot of reports, the audit reports, operating reports, various other financial reports that are available on the city's website. If you go to the finance page, you can take a look at that. If you have any questions, I'll be over here after the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Now, usually we end these events talking about the theater because Gary Gatos has this loud, robust, enthusiastic voice. He loves the theater so much that he's just very infectious. But unfortunately, Gary's not here today. We are represented by Chris Nelke from the theater. I'm not going to challenge her to be the grand finale like Gary is, or maybe she'll surprise me. Maybe we should have had her as a grand finale.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not quite as charismatic as Gary, but I hope to entertain you a little bit, or at least keep you awake. Gary is sorry he cannot be here today. He is out of town, actually on theater business. He is working on bringing some shows for upcoming seasons, which, looking at some of the familiar faces out there, you've been to our theater and you've seen some of our wonderful productions. That's one of the things I love about my job is I get to experience theater every day. So I just want to take a minute to tell you about some upcoming events we have. I'm going to throw some dates out there. If you don't catch them all, don't worry about it. I've got a calendar of events over here at the table. You can pick one up. Then the Florissant Fine Arts Council, in partnership with the St. Louis Shakespeare Festival, will bring its 40th Applause Series season, beginning with Much Ado About Nothing, one of Shakespeare's most popular and beloved comedies. Show dates for Much Ado About Nothing are October 17th, 18th, 19th, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And finally, last but not least, the ever-popular North Winds Concert Band will perform Sunday afternoon at the Pops on October 26th. Many of our theatrical productions offer special ticket pricing for seniors and groups, and all of them offer a chance to experience great art in the City of Florissant. Thank you again, and feel free at the end to come by and see me. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We don't have anyone here from the golf course. I believe they have a tournament that they need all their staff there for this morning. Since I started playing golf when I was a kid, I'll represent the golf course for just a few minutes. Our Golf Club of Florissant, we've kind of renamed this course ever since we bought it in 1997. We started calling it the Old Florissant with the old spelling of Florissant Golf Club, and that was kind of too long and confusing, and then we called it the Golf Club of Florissant. It's the Golf Club of Florissant. And so finally now we still have the Golf Club of Florissant on the front entranceway because it's nice and ornate, but we've decided to change our branding to just plain old, like we probably should have in the first place, Florissant Golf Club. And then we modeled the logo after the modified logo that we're using with the established 1786. It says established 1997. It just says Florissant Golf Club with the same colors as our city seal. We try to have recreation in this city, physical, mental, emotional recreation and renewal for all ages, young and the young at heart. So another area, of course, we have a very large park system. We have several parks named after some famous people. St. Ferdinand Park, named after the person that our city was early named after. It was named St. Ferdinand until 1939, and 75 years ago we changed it to Florissant. The French, of course, called it Florissant. So we have, St. Ferdinand Park. We have Koch Park, named after Henry Koch, who had a vision of having a great Florissant park system. So we named Koch Park after him. Bangert Park is named after Mayor Bangert. He was sort of the father of modern Florissant and was responsible for so many things like the water system and the new name, and there's just so much progress was made under the Bangert administration up until he was ill in 1950. He was mayor from 1938 until 1950. The Dunnigan Park is named after the first commandant. The Spanish named him the first commandant. We have a great park system, and here to talk a little bit more about our parks and recreation centers is somebody that started their career with the City of Florissant when they were a lifeguard. I think they worked for 1 week for McDonald's hamburger, but other than that 1 week, they worked for the City of Florissant their entire life, working their way up from lifeguard to Parks Director, Todd Schmidt.
Very humbling introduction. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the James J. Egan Civic Center. If you haven't figured it out now, we're all under a very strict time limit, so I'm going to be extremely brief. Just like all the other department representatives here, I will be available to answer any questions that you may have afterwards, whether it's in regards to any of the classes, programs, activities, special events that we offer throughout the entire year, whether it's about any of our facilities. The mayor just mentioned a number of facilities that we have, including the Egan Center. We've got another community center located on the west side, the JFK Community Center, and please don't forget about the Nature Lodge at Sunset Park. I'd also be happy to discuss anything in regards to some ongoing projects that we have in our park system. We're replacing a pavilion at Dunnigan Park, new restrooms being constructed, and new improvements at Bangert Park. And I'm also happy to report the repair work on the Riverfront Trail at Sunset Park. So I'd be happy to discuss all of that stuff with you afterwards. But equally as important is answering questions and talking to you about our things. I would like to hear from you if you've got any suggestions or ideas about improving our services, because quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we're here. We're here to serve you and to provide quality, wholesome recreational opportunities for you. So, with that being said, please visit with me afterwards. I've got a lot of handouts. I've also got our fall edition of our quarterly Parks and Recreation guide that we distribute 4 times a year, obviously. So thank you and enjoy the rest of the program.
As some of you are aware, maybe some of you are not, when I first came to the City of Florissant, I was hired by Mayor Egan to be city engineer in 1976. I was not long after I had graduated from the University of Missouri-Rolla, which is now the Missouri University of Science and Technology. Probably I'll give it a little bit of a plug, it's probably the best value in education in the United States. If you compare the amount that you had to pay in tuition to the starting salaries coming out of school, Rolla is one of you. If you got a kid that has got technical aptitude, send them to Rolla. But one of the Rolla graduates in the room is our Public Works Director, Lou Gerals. Has been with the city almost as long as I have. He started here in 1981, was hired also by Mayor Egan. I was fortunate to be city engineer, but I also, by accident of injury, I was able to fill in as the street superintendent for a guy named Jim Beelston for several months, so I got familiar with being a street superintendent. And unfortunately, the Public Works Director at the time, Joe Kiefer, passed away at a young age of 38 from a heart attack back then. And so I had to fill in and be the acting Public Works Director for 6 months under the Mayor Egan administration. And let me tell you, that was not an easy job. You know, and so I learned a lot about the city at that time and how hard it was to be Public Works Director. And at that time, I instituted a bridge replacement program, which is still in effect today and has put us way ahead of the curve so that we are not behind, as most of the nation is, in replacing outdated and dilapidated bridges. We've been replacing them with grants ever since the 1970s, and I want to give Lou Gerals credit for embracing that program and continuing it under 3 administrations. He has a great city engineer in Tim Barrett. Our infrastructure is vast. We have miles and miles of road and sidewalks. We have 2 recreational centers. We got a police building. We got a nature center. We got a city hall and other structures that we have to maintain. We have to remove the snow from the streets and clean up after storms. We have code enforcement. We got a health department. Mr. Giroz is in charge of, other than the police department, it's one of the most important things that we have, especially code enforcement, to try to keep our city the same city that we want to live in all the time. Lou Giroz.
Thank you, Mayor. I like to kid him about being a city engineer at one time, but I can honestly say he's a better mayor. Good morning, everyone, and yes, it is still morning. I'll try and keep my comments brief. My department is primarily composed of 4 separate divisions: the Health, Street, Engineering, and Building Division. Mayor gave you a pretty brief thumbnail sketch. Just to summarize some of the more important aspects of those departments, the Health Department's really been busy this year. It seems like trash and debris and cutting grass. Ever since it started growing in early spring, we've been cutting grass ever since. We're averaging about 40 to 50 yards a week in trying to keep up with derelict properties and that. Mosquito fogging, we've taken up the challenge on that this summer with all the wet weather. That's been a challenge. We're still doing that. The one thing that was mentioned earlier about the free recycling totes, all you have to do is call anybody, just call anybody with the city. City Hall, Mayor's office, my office, Health Department. We've got recycling totes down there. They're free. You're already paying for recycling, so it ain't going to cost you a dime. And it will help keep down your trash and garbage collection costs in the future, because landfills are filling up, and this is one way we can kind of keep that stretched, those costs down. We also run a kennel out of the Health Department, and I have to admit that we have some very fine animals. In fact, I can attest firsthand, we adopted a little all-American Florissant pound puppy about a year ago, and just this past Monday it won 2 blue ribbons at a agility trial, Ralston Printed Gray Summit. So we've got some pretty good animals down there, so if anybody's interested. Street Department's been keeping real busy this year. We've had $1.9 million worth of street work that we're doing and trying to finish up with in between the wet weather. The Building Code Division is actually fairly busy also with all the new and large construction projects going on, and really just trying to keep ahead of the derelict and vacant properties in the city. We've also this year, first year, have a annual handyman contract where on some of the very worst residential homes, we'll go out and we'll fix the gutters and the roof and trim up the yard and cut the bushes and try and make it look presentable, because we don't want any properties dragging down property value in the city. And we've been very active in doing that. And engineering, sidewalk replacement program, we actually asked the council for additional money. We usually only spend about $150,000. They gave us another $150,000. We're spending over $300,000 on sidewalk replacement improvements this year. So I want to thank the council for that. But as the mayor mentioned, the city's got an outstanding city engineer, Tim Barrett. Through Tim, we've applied for additional grant money to bring back some of our federal tax dollars. Over the years, we've brought back to the city over $20 million in federal tax money. And Tim has been able to apply and receive approval for grant $1.9 million in grant money from East West Gateway. So now we're up to about $22 million we're bringing back to the city. So we're constantly trying to figure out a way to stretch our dollars and stretch your dollars and keep the city looking nice. We got one more bridge, like the mayor said, we're on top of all our bridges. One of those is the replacement of the St. Anthony Bridge over Fountain Creek. So that'll be one of those projects in that $1.9 million that we got. But as to wrap up, not to keep it too much longer, we can't do this by ourselves. We need your help. as the police department relies on you to report any suspicious activities. My building division relies on you to report any homes that are just in terrible shape. But I do have two projects, two things I'd like you to embrace. Is I've got a guide to being a good neighbor brochure. Not to mention that you're not one, but we've got a lot of new people here in town, and they're just clueless. And so if you know of somebody next door like I got, good kid, anyway, cuts grass, all black, barefoot, he's just something. Anyway, pass these brochures out. I got plenty of brochures, and also on streetlights at night. We don't normally work nights. Police are out, they help us out. But if you see a street light that's out, make sure you call that in and give us a location, because we pay for that street light, whether it's on or not. And our street lighting bill's over $500,000 a year. So it's important to, for security and other reasons, to know about lights that are not working. I'll be here if you got any questions. Thank you.
Like I said earlier, we usually have Gary Gatos as our grand finale. So no pressure, Mr. Russell, but you're the grand finale today. Mr. Russell, Bob Russell is our Economic Development Director. He has extensive knowledge in real estate. He has helped us to attract some great businesses. Like I said earlier, we broke ground for Culver's. That was on the number one thing on people's wish list. But he also has a other long list of accomplishments. I'm going to let him give them to you and tell you how enthusiastic we are about the economic engine here in Florissant. Bob Russell.
Morning, everyone. The business community in the city of Florissant is alive and well. We have $50 million in projects either under construction or actively working right now. We have a multitude of other projects that are in the due diligence stage, which are confidential at this time, but are released as the developers notify us that they're ready to proceed. We've opened 55 new commercial businesses since January the 14th and 39 residential businesses. I have a sheet here of the most current projects underway. I have them over here. I'd be glad to answer any questions. The one thing the mayor mentioned was Culver's. To give you an idea about how these projects work, from the first contact with Culver's till they put the shovel in the ground here about a couple of weeks ago, has been 3 years. It takes a long time to get these folks. These projects have created, I'll read real quickly and then I have this list. CVS Pharmacy is under construction. Rally's opened on Lindbergh. Walmart Supercenter will open in the spring. Culver's should open before Christmas. Dress Barn opened in Cross Keys. Plaza Madrid redevelopment is still in due diligence. The Wedgwood Tennis Club is under contract for redevelopment of a retail center. The Florissant Eye Surgery Center on Lindbergh has opened. Brightworks Car Wash is a first in Missouri car wash. It's like a tunnel, but it's plexiglass. It'll go on the old Commerce Bank site. They should start construction shortly. Firehouse Subs Restaurant is a really cool place if you want to try that. Dollar Tree will open a store out in front of Lowe's. They'll be ready to start soon. Sweetie Pie's Restaurant will open and close Del Taco. It's been closed for 5 or 6 years. And let's see, I think that's it. But these projects take a long time. Granted, they're not extremely high-paying jobs, but there's hundreds and hundreds of jobs have been created on these projects. So we're going to take what we can get. We secure the best that we can get to come to Florissant. I will tell you honestly that the current atmosphere in North County has in fact impacted some of the decision makers who are taking a back seat until we see how this all shakes out. So we're not immune to any of that, but the U.S. is looking at it from all levels. But we're going to survive this. We're going to make it. And we still have continued interest from all the major corporations in the U.S. I do most of the real estate work for the city up until it's time to hand it off to the city attorney. And without interest from the real estate directors in these companies, that's where it starts. It doesn't start with the marketing. It starts with the real estate directors identifying a community, checking the demographics. Do we have enough people? Do they have a household income to support whatever business they have. What's the school district like, and most importantly, what's the police department? What's the protection level? We're doing good, 50 million plus, and we're still going. Thank you.
Another business I don't think Bob mentioned, we do have permission to mention it to the council. They will be preparing their own press release, but it's not, we don't have to keep it secret, is Jimmy John's is coming at the intersection of Charbonneir and Lindbergh. They're far enough along that it's not a secret. They are going to prepare their own press release, so we haven't done a press release yet, but we do not have to keep it secret. So Jimmy John's is coming for sure also. At Lindbergh and Washington, right across from churches. I also wanted to just let you know we do have a few more activities left this year. As you know, we've had a lot of Wednesday night outs. We've had the concerts in the parks. We've had the festivals. We've had this. We've had that. We have one more Wednesday night out next week from tonight, next Thursday at Handel's. It's a wonderful time. We block off St. Denis Street, and everybody really enjoys an evening of jazz. But prior to that, we are going to have one more recognition of a historical figure in our walk through history. It's going to be our 20th one. Earlier this summer, we honored former council member and state representative David Reynolds, who also published the Florissant Valley Reporter, who died several years ago. He is down at the intersection, his plaque is at the intersection of St. Charles and St. Francis Street, right close to where he had the Florissant Valley Reporter. And then we also recognized former council member from the City of Florissant and county council member. His nickname was Mr. North County. Loved North County was Don Bond, the father of former council member Ken Bond and father of current council member Jackie Bond Pagano. But Don Bond was a mentor to me, and Dave Reynolds was a colleague to me. But Don was just a real leader in the community and as a city councilman, as a county councilman. So we honored him in a Walk of Fame. And then we departed from politics. We have a lot of former mayors, the commandants, and we have a saint, and we have a famous pioneer priest, and we have some prominent business members like Jim Fisher and Hank Handel. But we departed from that, and we finally went to the world of sports, and we interred a handsome man who chose Florissant at his home, 1955. He's in the Bowling Hall of Fame, and his son's in the Bowling Hall of Fame. So we honored Dick Weber, famous bowler Dick Weber, in our Walk of Fame last month. Pete Weber, who himself is a Hall of Famer. Between them, they have about 80 championships on the professional bowling tour. And so we were honored to have longtime resident Dick Weber. His wife Juanita was there, along with Pete and the rest of their family. And then next week, we're going to honor the second female in the Walk Through History. The first female, of course, is St. Philippine Deschênes. The second female is going to be a person who had, her husband passed away, and then they had a plumbing business. So she became the first female master plumber in the state of Missouri. And she also was a benevolent person. She was involved in starting a historical Florissant, starting Friends of Old St. Ferdinand Shrine, sheltered workshops. She was involved in team, Seroptimist. She was never too busy to help somebody. Her name was Charlotte Ballard. And she was never too busy to help somebody that needed help. She did those kindnesses quietly. And her inspiration of being a good citizen will be with us always. And we're going to honor her next Thursday night, right across the street from Click's Heating and Cooling at the intersection of St. Ferdinand and St. Francis Street. And like I said, then we'll get the following that that's going to be at 5:30. Then we're going to have the Fall Festival on October 11th. That's a big deal. If you've been to it before, you certainly don't want to miss it. I hope we've had real good luck with the weather. Councilmember Tim Jones in the back is responsible for the weather this year, along with Gerard Hankey. So if they have good weather, they'll take credit for it. I'll take credit for the good weather, but I'll blame them for the bad weather. Fall Festival is all afternoon, starting around 11 a.m. It's the St. Francis Street is going to be blocked off from Florissant Road all the way down to the shrine. It's the most wholesome event you can imagine. It's just a wonderful time. There will be some shuttle buses that go up and down the side streets if you need to get a ride. If you want to walk down one way and then get a ride back up, that'll be available. And then, not too many communities are as patriotic as we do. We have so many patriotic events. Starting in the spring, we have Memorial Day celebration, our remembrance up at Coke Park at the Vietnam Memorial. And of course, we have a Flag Day retirement. We have a symbolic retirement ceremony at City Hall on Flag Day, or a weekend close to Flag Day. And then, of course, we had the 4th of July gala. And then we have 9/11. And then we also have one of the biggest Veterans Day parades. That'll be this year on the Sunday before Veterans Day, November 9th. So we have all kinds of events coming up. In addition to the last one on the calendar is the Christmas in Old Town on December 6th. So we'll see you at all these events, and we'll see you after the meeting. We'll stay around to answer any questions and to hear any suggestions that you have. Thanks for coming this morning.